Hi everybody, it's Melissa. Welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to pop on. I set a reminder about 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago? I don't know, something. Hope you guys have been doing well since last week. I kind of did just a quick thing. Okay, so I'm at Panera today and that's very loud. I clearly did not pick a good spot. So if you can't hear me, speak up and I'll try to speak up. Just give a couple more minutes while I get a few more people jumping on. Go ahead and pop in. Send me a quick high five or emoji or a quick note to say you're here. I see some people starting to jump up. As I was saying, welcome to today's edition of Coffee Talk Tuesday with your favorite realtor, Melissa Harbaugh. Today, we have a special guest. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for weeks for this. This young lady, her name is Vanessa. How do you say it? Schmuck. I thought so. I didn't want to butcher that.
It's a terrible last name. I get it.
So here we go. Hi. Okay. She is with Center Staging and Design. She is also part of the Real Estate Stagers. So it's all of the different associations for real estate staging people that they can join to stay in touch with their local realtors. So realtors, if you are watching, stay on because she's got some amazing information. If you don't already have your stager or if you just need another person or a backup, please stay on and take a listen. For those sellers out there thinking, why do I need staging? I have a wife that does Pinterest or whatever, or maybe you're just like, I'm just gonna go vacant. Please stay on. You're gonna get some really good information here. She's also in the Open House, what is it called?
Network.
Open House Network group. It's a group of realtors that go and to different open houses, but she sponsors that. The different open houses each week, right?
It's the first and third Tuesday of each month.
The first and third Tuesday of each month. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got a couple people that are already on, and I want to be respectful of your time. Hi, Laura. Okay, so Vanessa,
Yes.
Tell me just a little bit about yourself. Like, tell all of our people a little bit about yourself. What maybe got you into just staging? This was your maybe original career path, or if this is something that you decided you wanted to do later on.
Right. This was definitely not my first career. I used to be a teacher, but times like this, I'm kind of glad I'm not anymore. Staging has always been a passion. I love home decor. I love kind of keeping current with all the trends and the styles. So my family's always had a remodeling company, and so I've always kind of got to help with the design part of it too. So yeah, so that's kind of how I got into it.
Awesome. So I'm gonna talk to the real estate agents out there for just a minute, and then I'm gonna go to you sellers. I'm just gonna ask her a few questions that I've wondered as a real estate agent. And I hear all the time, oh, staging's great. This is what you need, and this is the benefits, and blah. But I've never actually sat and talked to a stager and asked what really is, and hopefully she'll be able to give us, if not some statistics, but some tips and tools that we can put in our little pocket for later on. So that being said, hey Mike. That being said, try to both get us.
Oh, I know,
hooked.
that's okay.
I'll pop my head in every now and then. Okay, so tell me what the importance of an agent using a stager.
I think with staging, you separate your listing from other listings, because I think it's bringing people in to want to see the home more than just kind of, I think everybody wants turnkey today.
Yeah.
And so when you have a staged home, you're definitely getting turnkey. You're getting more people interested. Everyone right now with the COVID, we're all shopping online. So I think when you're shopping online, your pictures are going to look great. It's showing people how to set up rooms. So when they move in, they can say, oh, they had their couch here, their love seat here. And it kind of gives them a better idea of putting themselves in that situation. I think things are selling quicker and for a higher price when houses are staged.
Okay. What if the people are still already living there? It sounds like you're kind of talking more about vacant homes.
Right.
Which, you guys, I totally agree with her with vacant homes. I was just showed $500,000 property the other day that had no furniture in it whatsoever. And the pictures online did have furniture, so it must have moved sometime between now and then. And the house looked completely different. Like, my people walked in and were like, are we sure this is the same house? They had a hard time visualizing where they would put their furniture. And there was like, I guess what was popular for them when they built it, the people that built it, there was like this really interesting on the front foyer, like this emblem of something. But in the picture, there was a rug over it, and it looked really good.
And sometimes houses are dated, but then when
Yeah.
it's staged, it doesn't seem so dated because you're bringing in trendy,
Okay.
items. So I think that sometimes helps people look past that.
I like that. Let's talk about that for just a minute. So let's say I have a home that's maybe 25 years old, and everything in there, all the finishes are the same as when they built it.
Right.
How can we turn that home and say it's in, like, I don't know, 250 to 400 range, market value updated, but how do you feel like the value of staging that to turn that eye away from?
I think when the room is staged, they don't maybe notice all the little details. If it's vacant, they're seeing everything that they dislike about it because there's nothing else to look at.
Okay.
So when there's something else to look at, then their eye kind of goes to other places. And again, like, some houses might have a bay window, and those are upgrades. So it's like, when I put furniture in, I want to still accent the upgrades of the home, even though it's maybe not, the finishes that they would want. So I think
Okay.
it's important when I'm staging, I do look at every little detail, and I like to hand pick every item for each house. So my staging doesn't go from this home, and then as soon as this home is finished and it doesn't need staging, then I really don't pack it up and bring it to this house. I hand pick every piece because I think about the colors of the wood, the paint colors that they have, and I try to pick things that really complement so that we are hiding maybe some of the imperfections or the non-up-to-date homes.
Okay, so if we were, oh hey, we've got Eric and Lily. Okay, so you made me think of another question, and I've already forgot it. Y'all, my brain. I need more coffee.
But when you were talking too about how you went to that home that it had furniture in there, and then when you guys got there and it didn't, that's what I don't love about the virtual staging, is because it does do the job of bringing people in, but they still lose that cozy factor. They
Right.
lose all the other the image of what the house could be when it's not there when they show
Right.
up. So for the extra price, I do
Right.
think it's worth having it in there to stay until
Okay.
it's ready to go.
Okay, so now let's talk about staging homes that already have people living in it, and they already have furniture and stuff. What's the benefit of having a stager come in?
Yeah, so if it's an occupied house and you're planning on living at the home during the process, I definitely would still, it's beneficial to have a stager come in. We go from head to toe, outside, inside, paint colors, all these different things, and kind of give you your DIY list of things that you could do before you go picture ready and before you are show ready.
Okay.
So there's lots of tips that we give you, decluttering ideas, like I said, paint colors, fresh front door color, just welcome mats, just little things that make a house a home. And you always want to put your best foot forward the first time. And
Right.
It's hard to relaunch a listing after it's been out there. So
Right.
if we do it right the first time, I do think it will pay off. And so if I come in and do a home consult, that's what you're going to be getting, an itemized list per room, kind of telling you what you could do. At the end of the day, you still have to do what works for you because you are living in the space.
Right.
So, these would just be kind of suggestions that you would choose to do if it fits, But I always tell everybody, if you do it, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but if you do it right, then you can go back to living normal, because hopefully
Right.
your house will be under contract and
Right.
you'll be
Within a
done with the
couple days.
process. Yes. So
Yes, thank you. So Lily says, I agree, looks better with staging than an empty. Thank you, Lily, for that.
I think you're leaving
input.
money on the table when you do that.
Right. And from a real estate agent perspective, also, you're going to be moving in 30 to 45 days anyway, possibly 60, depending upon. But in this market, usually it's going to be 30 to 45 days. You got to pack stuff up anyway. So most of what I've noticed is those little things on the things. It's like declutter your closets and declutter your knickknacks, and take some of the more personal things off the walls. And those things you're going to have to pack up anyway. So why not go ahead and do it? And if you have the advice of a professional to tell you what things can stay and what things can go, I think it's totally worth that
Start
cost.
packing already.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have that much less to pack before you start.
And a lot of people will say, well, this doesn't feel like my house anymore, but by the time it's on the market, it's really not. You're advertising it for others
Another
to see.
couple or family.
Right. So it's
Well, and that's another thing I want you to talk about. I've heard before, and I'm sure you do the same thing. Some stagers will go in, and based on the market of that area, if it's more of a family type subdivision, they're going to stage it for a family type. So they might make a playroom out of an extra room instead of an office. Or if you're trying to market more towards a downsized house for an older couple that might have retired, then they're going to have more. I mean, am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah, we definitely try to appeal what we think will appeal to most people. So
Okay.
I know lately in a two-story, they always have the traditional sitting room and then a living room still. A lot of times that's not really needed these days.
Right.
Everyone's working from home, kids are doing school from home, so a lot of times we'll make that an office because
Okay.
that's more usable right now than just another formal sitting room that no one really sits in
Yeah.
except for like a holiday or something. So we do try to make every space functional and that we show people there's a purpose for each space.
Okay.
And I do want to say, too, if it's an occupied home and people are living in it, there's times where I have done where I do like a partial stage where they're willing to not use the living room, or they'll take out their living room things, and maybe I'll come in and bring my living room accessories that they rent from me. I have all my own inventory, so they'll come in and maybe just stage a specific room that they're going to kind of keep for show and not really use, but that's one of the first rooms you walk into. So, and even if we do a vacant stage where we're doing most of the house, what's good about staging with me is I do just offer, if you can only, in your budget, maybe you only have in your budget to do a couple of the rooms, then we try to do the heavy hitting rooms, the ones that you're going to see right when you walk in the front door. So if we have to not stage some of the other places, but we need to make a great first impression, then sometimes we can customize and just do specific rooms if that's in the budget instead.
Okay. So that's really good to know. Hey, Brandy. So when people think of staging, they're like, oh my gosh, that's going to cost so much and that's going to, kill my budget. But think of it this way. I've heard this being said, and maybe you can kind of push more on that. But the amount of money that you would pay to have someone come in and stage and have, whether their furniture or just their advice, and it not sit on the market an extra 2-3 weeks, and then you end up having to pay another month's payment of your house payment, your association dues, or whatever it is you do, then the number, since they're working especially with your budget, the number ends up, would you say?
It's still cheaper than your first price drop, I would say, because a lot of times you guys price drop in increments of like
3,000 to 5,000. Yeah.
Most times we're still cheaper than that. So, and I think what's also great is I only will ask for half the payment up front, and then the other half can be rolled into closing, so it doesn't hurt your pocketbook so much when you're trying to sell.
Guys, did you hear that? She can roll some of it into closing, so it's coming out of your equity instead of your pocketbook.
Right.
So gives you extra money to pay after closing to purchase the other items you need for the house. So I want to talk to agents here for just a second. How one of the reasons I'm talking with you and partnering with you is because you have a really awesome thing that you like to do to partner with agents. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so what I love to do is I love to kind of offer a partnership with agents. So for me, it's great to, to separate yourself from every other agent. You guys sometimes will offer different things that other agents don't offer. So if you choose to, I have flyers that if you would want, you could put it in your listing package when you go and speak with new clients. And you could use me as you know, if you work with me as an agent, then I can offer a staging consult before professional photos are done, and as part of
Yeah. So she's talking about agents. So like as part of the commission, when you're sending the listing agreement, if you're asking for 6%, part of that 6% can go towards, for your portion, can go towards you offering a free consultation,
complimentary, or however you want to say it.
You're paying for it, but it's a nominal fee. And if you want to talk about that too, and it will cover an hour.
I'll go as long as it takes because some houses are bigger than others.
Okay.
But what we would do, I start from outside. I take notes while I'm there. That way, the homeowner doesn't have to worry. They just have to listen and kind of take it all in. I take notes and then I go home and type it, and I break it up from room to room. The living room. These are my suggestions. We talk about paint color. We talk about the curb appeal. We talk about how to set up the patio to show extended square footage. We talk about basements, closets.
Coming closer just in case you can't hear over the blender.
Right. So we go from head to toe in each room, and then we'll give you suggestions. It's kind of like your do-it-yourself list of things that you could do, but I also like to give you suggestions that you can actually do. Not crazy ones that is not practical. And I understand.
For example, give an example.
Well, I understand people don't want to put too much money into a home that they're getting ready to leave.
Right.
So sometimes I'll suggest some artwork, but I always give cheap places to go and get it. I do have my own thing. Sometimes we just do a package if you just need accessory package. I can come in, I hang it for you, I pick it up when you're done. But again, art sometimes does
make a big difference.
Yes, and I always say we go for that hotel look. So it's not offensive, it's not memorable, but it's not forgettable.
Right.
Clean. We want the cozy factor. So every time I'll come into your home, we talk about those things, and we talk about how to get ready for pictures versus how to be ready for a showing.
Okay.
Because those are different. Pictures you're going to want to be more strict.
Right.
But then
lamps and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I always say turn the lamps on. It makes it nice and cozy. White fluffy bath towels always makes it look clean and inviting. So those are some small things that you'll probably, if you buy bath towels, you'll probably use again at your next house. So it's not breaking your bank. I'm not asking you to pay and buy things that you probably won't use again. I know neutral bedding is big. And I know some people like more color when it's their own personal house. Right. But again, you probably have a spare bedroom that you could throw it on. So again, if you were going to buy a handful of things,
go to Walmart, go to Home Goods, go to Hobby Lobby if you're not going to buy the whole store like I tried to do every time I go in there. I have a love-hate relationship with that store.
I think too, Ross, Dress for Less, you wouldn't think is a place for decorations. They have very reasonable ones. Burlington, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby has half their store on sale, and the other half.
Usually, right.
So there's always, ways to go around getting a good deal.
Okay. So good. So for agents out there, Lily says, I know a lot of wonderful realtors if you want their names. Thank you, Lily. Forgot I'm a realtor too, but no, I am talking to realtors. I want you to share this video after we're all done with your realtor friends. They may already have a stager, but they may not. Especially if it's someone who's newer into the real estate business, they're looking for people to add to their oh my gosh,
like their little.
There's a word
book.
I'm looking for, but yeah, they're preferred partners. That's the word I'm looking for. So for agents, so go ahead and send this to somebody, but for agents that are looking for someone, if we were to provide your consultation as part of our agent fee, because we when we advertise, when we're doing our listing appointments, we're like, okay, this is the fee and this is why it's the fee. I'm going to pay for marketing stuff. I'm going to pay for handouts. I'm going to pay for home staging. I'm going to pay for pictures for the house, and all these little things add up. And then of course, for all the time that you've put into all of that's one of those things. So having staging as part of your listing packet will set you agents apart from others. And it can be as little as, would you say, like $180?
Yes.
I mean, that's almost nothing for the commission that we're going to make.
And what I also do is, when I was saying I type up the information, I not only send it to the homeowners, but I send it to the real estate agent too.
Oh,
so
that's
that
awesome.
way, if they choose to do 10 things off the list, but maybe their feedback is asking for, well, we'd really like you to update that paint color, and you're not getting the showings or the, you want the more attention on that house, then you might say, well, let's go back to that list that the stager did. Maybe it's time to try X, Y, and Z from that list, and
that's a
you
good
can let
idea.
me be the bad guy, and you guys
Right.
can still have that close-knit relationship,
That's perfect. We'll make her the bag.
Yeah.
She's already got the money. Why not? Okay, now I want to talk to the sellers out there, or the people who think they might want to sell. So in a few months, most of you guys know that are watching know that my husband and I bought some property out in Troy, and we're getting ready to build our final home. Yes, people, it's our final home. I know we say that. We move every 2 to 5 years. We've never lived anywhere for more than 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So
But this is
everybody's
it.
like, is this really the it? Is this really it? I'm like, yes, for sure. I will die in this. And if someone murders me, they will bury me in this yard. Just know, y'all. Anyway, so when I go to sell my house, I want to have a stager to come in and say, okay, I know I cannot decorate to save my life. I've got the typical things in my house, the couch. I don't even have so my side table or like coffee table is a tray table like that you eat off of.
Right.
Like I don't want to keep that there during, and there's
Right.
cords that are, you can see from, because we have the electric couches.
Right.
So I'm going to use someone like her. I'm going to come in and tell me, okay, how can I make this look nice instead of the way I have it, and the value in that. So obviously I'm going to pay for it myself because I'm my own real estate agent. But tell me the value
Yeah, so-
of sellers. Why the investment is good for a seller to invest in, outside of if they have an agent that provides that consultation, and if there's more needed outside that consultation for whether it be furniture that you bring in or maybe the rearranging, like what all does your additional fees cost outside the...
So it kind of depends on how much is needed to be brought into your home. So, we might talk about, rearranging and trying to use as much as you have, but maybe you need a rug to center things. Maybe you need some lamps that you're not wanting to buy. Again,
Yeah.
we can do an accessory package that would be additional. You would get to use it for 2 months. That's normally the term.
Okay.
If you need additional time, it's a very small fee after that. Like I said, though, normally when you stage, it's staged right, priced right. You don't normally need more than 2 months. We haven't really needed to extend much. So, those would be some extra cost. Again, if you want me just to do a room, we could do that, and that would be additional. But I try, if you're wanting to try to keep what you have, there's times we might find furniture in other rooms that we can then use and pull together to make the look in the most beneficial rooms of the house.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the consultation is where you take the notes from outside in, and you give suggestions, and then you give them their homework, and then they create all that,
Kind of
and
what we had
however long it
discussed.
takes to discuss that.
Yep.
The additional charges are if you're bringing in furniture, if you're
accessories.
having to, or accessories, or having to move things around yourself.
Well, when I'm there, I'm not afraid to help you move while we're there. Like if
Okay.
we want to say, well, what does it look like if we put the couch this way? I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty,
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't mind doing that as long as people are comfortable
With you moving things.
Yes. Sometimes
Okay.
people just want to take it all in and they want to do it when I'm gone.
Okay.
So I kind of just feed off of how the homeowner's feeling.
Okay.
If somebody's like, let's try it now while you're here, I'm all about it. So
Okay.
I'll go with the flow, and I don't mind. Hard work doesn't scare me, so.
That's good. So if they were, okay, I just totally lost my train of thought again. I had another question when you were talking.
Okay.
And it had something to do with moving.
Well,
furniture or
and so there will be some times where I might have you guys move a couple pieces, or if I am bringing my own inventory in, you might need to move some of your furniture out for me to do that. It is best if you can go off-site with the furniture or in your garage or something.
Okay.
But I also have a team of movers who help me install staging, and we're always there to try to help accommodate the best we can. Because
Okay.
we want the process to be smooth for the
Right.
homeowner, the real estate agent. We know this is a stressful time. So
Yeah.
my job is to try to make it easier on everybody.
Okay. How often do you think that someone, say it's a lived-in home already, someone needs additional, how often do you think that you end up having to use your additional services over and beyond the consultation with a home that's already living in?
We're pretty good at finding, what you have in your home to try to put your look together. So I would say mostly my home consultations stay as a home consultation. Sometimes, though, I would probably say maybe 40% though also add on additional rooms that they want, or artwork or rugs. But some people will just buy it because they're like, well, I will use this in my next house, so I don't mind. And I will, like on my consultation notes, I will tell you some great places to shop. There's rug stores that I love that are reasonable that maybe a lot of people don't know about. So I try to give you, if you are going to have a budget that you're willing to buy, I do try to pick neutral things so that you will use it again and not waste your money. But some people just don't want to do that because they're thinking, I'm not doing this, it won't probably work in my next house.
Right.
Then that's when I do bring in my own inventory. So, I mean, a lot of times it would just be a couple rooms that we would do after the consult because, again, they're living in there. So, like bedding, I normally give them a budget for them to go get because we don't reuse, we're not doing that, especially during COVID and stuff. I've borrowed, people have borrowed the lamps, the rugs, and I mean even couches and pillows. I'm okay with sharing those things.
Okay.
A lot of times people aren't using that. They're just, if they do have kids, they're gonna cover it with sheets and then take it all off for show.
Okay. So sellers, I want to talk to you for a second. So if you will partner or you interview, first I'm going to tell you, okay, hold on, because this lady's vacuuming now. Okay, sorry, a little annoyed, not going to lie. All right, if you decide to sell your house and you're looking for a real estate agent, of course I want you to call me. However, I want you to work with whomever you think you're going to connect with best. So I want you to interview at least 3 people. And in that consultation with your 3 agent interviews, I don't want you to go solely based on commission. I don't care what they tell you, all commissions are negotiable. Now, if they're a broker owner, their commission can oftentimes be cut less because they don't have to share their commission with another broker or agent. But I want you to ask them this question. Does your fee include home staging, a home staging consultation? And does that include professional pictures? If they answer no to either of those questions, then I need you to call me and make sure that you give me that opportunity, or at least find someone who does. And if so, if they do include that, then ask them who their stager is and do your homework on that stager to make sure that you don't just have some random person that's just trying it out because they have an interior design degree or certification or whatever. Because for us as agents, spending that little extra money to help you guys to not stress and worry about how you're going to keep your house looking show ready, I think is a benefit for me as an agent to be able to set myself apart from other people to help you. Because my desire is to get you as seamlessly joyful as you can in this process. It can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. So let your agent and the people that they partner with do all the work for you, and all we need you to do is make the decisions on what you want. As she just said, you may not have to pay anything additional, so why not take the free consultation that your agent is offering?
Right.
and run with it. And if you don't do anything else or add anything else or even buy anything off the list, what is it going to hurt other than them giving you a little bit of advice on what will make your house look best? So one thing I want to, one more thing that you had mentioned to me another time that we had spoken, actually it was earlier today, how much time, so we want to make your house show ready and picture ready. How much time should I schedule you as a consultation prior to doing the photos?
I think I would say a week or two. That way some of the advice that I give you actually have time to implement, and you know, if you need to reach out to other people to help with, you know, you need painters, and again I come with a list of recommendations that I use often too, so I'm sure you always have your people, but again, if I offer paint or you know, if I ask you maybe suggest carpet cleaning or power washing, some of those things, I want you to have time to do that, because like I said, it's best to put your first impression is lasting. So I would rather you not rush to get pictures and do it right and take your time, so that when you are ready, it won't last long. I know when I've been staging homes, even during all this COVID, most of my houses have been on the market for less than a week or so, and they're sold like that. So with multiple offers, and you know, they're all bidding wars. So I think too that helps, that when your house is ready, you're confident about it, you know, be ready to roll, because it's going fast. So that's kind of the trend right now. It's, I would say, I do have some higher end homes, so of course the amount of buyers that can buy those, it kind of brings my average down, but it has been about 17 days on market as my staged homes. But I would say really they're going faster than that.
Yeah. In your opinion, a vacant home in the 250 range, 250 range, that was staged versus not staged, how long market wise do you think they've been?
I mean, I'm not the real estate agent, but I do think that they're going to sit a little bit longer, or they're not going to get as much attention, so that maybe bidding wars might not be happening on houses that are not as turnkey. Even though they might be turnkey ready, they just don't look as warm and cozy, and so I think that kind of pushes people away, or you don't get as much showings right in the beginning. And you know, you want to get all those showings, you want to bring people in, and I think staging really helps with bringing the people in.
Right. And I agree with her, but I also want to add, I asked her that just to kind of get her idea from a staging perspective, but the 250 range is like a super, super hot range right now. Everybody and their brother can qualify for a $200,000 house or $250,000 house. Even with less than perfect credit. And so what's happening is people are going in, they'll get the showings right away is what I'm noticing. They're getting the showings right away, but people are going in and coming right back out. They're like, oh, it's not updated, or, oh, well, they tried to paint it themselves and there's no good lines, or there's just different things and they cannot visualize what the homes look like. But as soon as something, I've talked to other stagers, as soon as it gets staged, it's gone in a week. A week, you guys. So had you not waited 2 or 3 weeks to go ahead and have a stager come in, you'd have done already sold it, and now you're not paying an extra house payment.
And there's times where I know maybe a house sits longer than they wanted to, so then they call me for staging, and it's an afterthought, and that's okay, because I get that, you know, an agent needs to find a new approach, and maybe staging is their second approach to it. But normally after I stage it, they're like, I wish we would have just done this from the beginning, you know. So you know, I always say I would probably do it from the beginning. That way you're off the market a lot quicker, you know. And
if you're gonna do something right, then do it the first time.
Try doing it the first time. But I get it that you want to maybe try it, and then if it doesn't work, then let's try this. So I have some people, like I said, that do that, and that's perfectly fine. I know it's a way to invent the house if you have to launch it again. I think that's a great way to actually relaunch if you have to. It's make a big change and then post about it or whatever.
Right.
But I do think it's best to put the first impressions first.
Yes. And that's always been a big, I'm sure there's some famous person that said first impressions is always the lasting impression. So, well, do you have anything else to add that we maybe not have talked about or that I haven't, that you think would be beneficial for our viewers, whether they're a seller or an agent?
I feel like we touched on a lot of things. I'm sure once we turn this off, I'll think, oh, I wish I could have said this. But
Right.
I will say, too, I know some people come in and they see the staging process and they like the style, they like the looks. There's times where I also offer, when you move into your new home, it's called a welcome home design consult, where I can come in and I help you pick like maybe new paint colors for your new space. I help you lay out furniture that you had from your old house and how to work it in your new house. So that's another service that I also do. And I think a lot of people like that.
So
sometimes
people like me that don't know how to decorate, I'm like, please decorate my house.
I've had some agents where I do have gift cards that I give out, and it's some agents use it as a closing gift if they really want somebody to come in and help them, pick out some, or just work with what they have and what works at this new place, what's probably we don't want to reuse again. So that's also another thing that I can do for agents is, I know they're always looking for closing gifts.
Yes.
So that could be a closing gift for a customer that maybe liked what we did the first time and wants me to come back into their new space.
Okay,
So
that's a really good idea. I never even thought of that. Well, give us, so if anybody wants to call you or anybody wants to look at some of your handiwork, tell us how to get in touch with you, your website,
Yes.
Facebook,
Yes.
whatever.
My Facebook's probably more updated than my website, but if you go to Center Staging and Design is my business name, you can find me either through Vanessa Schmuck, my personal Facebook page, and then it will probably lead you to Center Staging and Design page. I do have a website. It's centerstaginganddesign.org. I hope I'm right on that one. I don't use it often, but like I said, I have flyers that that I also can give you virtually if agents reach out and they want. You can always email me. Should I give my email, or
Yes.
should they reach out to you, or either way?
Either way, if you guys know how to get in touch with me, and if it's something that you're interested in, whether you're getting ready to sell or whatever, but if you do call her directly, just let her know that you saw this video. And that way, if you're like someone looking to maybe list at some point, and you tell her that you spoke with me, then she can let me know so that I can make sure that I offer you that as part of your listing agreement. So I'm paying for your consultation instead of you.
So I mean, you can reach me by phone. It's 314-368-9375 is the number you can contact me, and I get back to you. I'm trying to be really quick because I know agents, they want it done yesterday. So
Yeah.
I try to be really, so centerstaging.org is my website. It does show you some pictures. It shows you some of the things that I offer. Facebook page does as well. Feel free to like my page. I do try to show before and afters. I try to share some staging tips throughout the year in different seasons. So it's always probably a good page to follow throughout the year as well. And probably the best way to reach me would be by email, which is vmschmuck2@gmail.com.
V as in Victor.
Yes. Feel free to email me, and I can give you a digital flyer that you can print out and put in your listing package if that's something you're interested in doing. I think that's it, but like I said, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I know I go on home consultations, and I even say, if you made a couple changes and you want to take a picture and send it to me through text, I'd be happy to say, oh, I think that looks great, or maybe try this. You're not bothering me. I want to help you. So I think we all have the same goal, is we want to get your listing sold quick and for top dollar. So,
Perfect. Well, you guys, in case you didn't get a chance to write that down or you couldn't hear because of all of the noise in here, I won't do this at Panera next time. I didn't realize how much noise was. I thought it was quite quiet until you start doing a video. But I'm going to put all of her information in the comments. I'm also, if you just have questions and you want to talk to me first, that's cool too. You guys know how to get in touch with me. You can go to my business page. You can private message me. You can whatever. Please feel free to share this video as always. But Vanessa, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. If you guys have any other questions that we didn't touch on, please let me or her know, and we would be happy to service you. I love you all. Have a great week. Enjoy the sun and the cooler weather until it gets blazing hot again. Love you. Talk to you
See ya.
soon. Bye.